Good afternoon. I hope you guys are doing well. So this is a slide from my last video, the last cycle. And I'm continuing this, and now we are going to be specifically looking at 25 November 2030 and why it is 15 Kislev, because it's not as obvious as you might think. If you went and had a look on your own, you might not have realized that it is 15 Kislev. And I'm going to explain why, and then also a couple of interesting things I found in connection with that date. But just to recap, this cycle that you see over here began slowly moving. I'm now going to use the words into focus, and here it's totally in focus, and then it moves out of focus again. So this is a period of resonance. And I've got another slide that actually shows this better, I believe. So these pictures represent the solar eclipse cycles. It was completely out of cycle, so it wasn't 1,211 days, but it became better, more into focus, and then a little bit more, and then completely in focus. So a period of resonance, and then it slowly moved out of focus again, and it's gone. So this cycle is never going to be repeated again. And this is why this is an extremely, extremely important cycle. So to explain why 25 November 2030 is 15 Kislev, we have to move from the solar eclipses to leap years. This is very important. So historically, there is no year zero in the standard Anno Domini calendar system. The calendar transitions directly from 1 BC to 1 AD. However, in astronomical year numbering, year zero does exist, and it is classified as a leap year. So here I've got a leap year breakdown from 180 to 2026, and you can see it's a total count of 491 leap years. And the first 5 leap years are the years 0, 4, 8, 12, and 16. And the most recent ones are from 2008 to 2032. So currently we have a leap year in the year 2032. And then we have millennium milestones. So you can see it's 242 leap years. And here you have the years that were skipped. And again, and currently in the third millennium, we have 8 leap years. Interesting that it is 8. So what happens on a leap year? You guys are just going to have to bear with me here. We all know that an extra day is added to February. So the next leap year on our current calendar is the year 2028, followed by the year 2032. Our current calendar's first leap year was the year 0. But now you have to take into consideration that the year 0 was determined by a 6th century monk called Dionysius. He was also called Denis the Humble. And he is the one that determined the year 0, and that was based on his understanding on when Jesus was born. But we know now that Jesus was born in the year -2. So you have to subtract 2 from our current system. Now leap years can be in any year as long as it is 4 years apart. So basically the next leap year that we have, if you take Jesus' correct birthday, is the year 2030. So if we correct the calendar with the correct year of Jesus' birth, then the next leap year is not the year 2032, but the year 2030. And we have to take that into consideration. So here we have a normal year, and here you see the 28th of February, followed by the 1st of March, and it counts through right up till the vernal equinox on the 20th. And in a leap year, an additional day is added. So you've got the 28th, then 29th is added. So then the first, you can see that it is 1 day difference now. And the vernal equinox in a leap year falls on 19th of March, the 19th of March. No longer the 20th, but the 19th. Now normally this doesn't make a difference to our calculations because we look at the first full moon after the vernal equinox. Okay, so we have determined that 2030 is a leap year, and like I've said before, it doesn't normally make a difference because we normally look at the first full moon after the spring equinox. But look at the massive difference it makes to 2030 in this case, because the vernal equinox is on March 19. So if we did not correct for Jesus' birthday, this would have been Nisan 1, April 18. But because we now have corrected for Jesus' birthday and we've placed the leap years in the correct position, March the 19th becomes Nisan 1. And this makes all the difference in the world. You see how each level is built upon the next level. And if you do not correct at every stage, you will get a nonsensical result. Because now that we know this is Nisan, now we can count Nisan, Iyar, Sivan, Tammuz, Av, Elul, Tishri, Cheshvan, and Kislev. So November the 10th at 3:30 in the morning is New Moon Day. And that would be 5:30 Israel time, of course. So that makes a huge difference. And we could only find that because we knew in which year Jesus was born. And see, I am 100% convinced that God does things like this on purpose. So in other words, if you didn't have the previous step right, you would never have found this step. And then, like the Bible says, He shines a light by your feet and you follow it step by step. And you have to have every step correct for the next step to make sense. Okay, so we can see that the moon is full, and that would be 5:30 Israel time. So when the moon rose, the evening of the 9th at dusk, it would not have been full yet, and would have still been counted as part of the previous month. So at 12 o'clock in the evening, that date from the 9th would have changed over, or will change over to the 10th on the Gregorian calendar, but of course it's still the 9th on the full moon calendar, because the full moon calendar only switches over at 6 a.m. At 6 a.m. the date switches over to the 10th, and then you have the day, and that evening when the moon rises on November the 10th is New Moon Day. So the 10th of November 2030 is New Moon Day, and 11 November is 1 Kislev. So counting from 11 November, with 11 November being 1 Kislev, you can see that the 25th of November is 15 Kislev. And 15 Kislev is the abomination of desolation. And in this case, it is also a total solar eclipse, which forms part of a larger group that have only recently gone into harmonics and is in focus for a very short period of time that has never happened before and will never happen again. And it also forms part of those solar eclipses, are all 3 years, 3 months, 3 weeks, and 3 days apart. Or if you look at every second one, 6 years, 6 months, 6 weeks, and 6 days. And there's a very specific reason why this is like this. And it is a once in a history occurrence. And this is not by accident. Okay, so now we know that 25 November is 15 Kislev. But even more interesting than that is 25 November. If you add 13 days to 25 November 2030, you get the 6th of December 2030. Now, the 6th of December is a very meaningful date on the main timeline. Not the year 2030 so much, but there's an explanation for that. But now it is clear that the 25th of November 2030 is a Julian representation of 6th December. Because 6th December is a Gregorian date, and 25 November would be a Julian date, and the difference between the two is 13 days. So, but 6th December is 2030 is 1 year after the mark of the beast that will take place on 6th December 2029. One exact year. Although this is given as 25 November, we have to follow where the clues lead us. And we know that this is a representation, a Julian representation of 6th December. And the Bible specifically mentions a 1 year period. So we are now moving from the 25th, which is the Julian representation, to the Gregorian representation, 6th December. And we are looking at 2030, which is exactly 1 year later than the mark of the beast on the 6th of December 2029. So now we're going to be looking at Isaiah 34 and Revelation 6. And these are the only two Bible books that mention the heavens shall be rolled up together as a scroll. That is the only 2 times it's mentioned like that in the Bible. And there is a reason, because Isaiah 34 talks about the same events happening in Revelation 6. Now, on the main timeline, we know that these are events occurring in December 2029. And I'm not going to read through everything here. You can just pause and read it for yourself, or better yet, read it in your Bible. But you can see that it is God's wrath against the nations. Now, so far, I maybe have put it incorrectly where I say that the Third World War begins on 16 December, which is 25 Kislev, or possibly 6 December, which is 15 Kislev. I think a better description would be that that is when the Third World War goes nuclear. I don't think that is where the war breaks out. I think it reaches a point of progression at that stage, and that is where it goes nuclear. And when you read through this, you can see that this is very aptly described in Isaiah 34. But okay, just take note of this, that the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll. And this is from an old video that I entitled The Seven Seals, and it basically says the same. Then the sky receded as a scroll. So it's rolled up when it's rolled up. And you can just see what it looks like. It looks like the sky is being rolled up there like a scroll. You can imagine poor John and all the other prophets trying to describe these modern type events for us that we can immediately identify as a nuclear explosion, but they've never seen anything like that in their lives. So, and they've only got the limited vocabulary available to them. And yeah, that looked like a scroll being rolled up. And in Revelation 6, it's described like that, and in Isaiah 34. But listen to Isaiah 34, verse 2. For the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He hath utterly destroyed them. He hath delivered them to the slaughter. And then listen to verse 3. Their slain shall also be cast out. Their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted. Listen to the terminology there. Melted. Mountains are melted. That can only occur during a nuclear exchange. And all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved again. And the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll. So you can see that this is basically the same as Revelation 6. And we now know in what time period Revelation 6 occurs. Now look at Isaiah 34 verse 8. For it is the day of the Lord's vengeance, and the year of recompense for the controversy of Zion. So we have a period here. It is a year. Now what have we seen so far? We've seen that we have the abomination, not the abomination, the mark of the beast on the 6th of December 2029, and we have 25 November 2030, which is a Julian representation of 6 December 2030. And that period between these two dates is exactly 1 year. Okay, now we're looking at the main timeline. So these days, I haven't updated this timeline yet, and it is possible that I should remove these days. But I am keeping them in because for me, it has been made clear that it's harmonics. As everything is slowly moving into focus, you find the occurrence of these days, although it isn't yet at the right place. So for somebody, say, doing some superficial analysis might find 1,290 days and they would lock onto that. But in that case, it might not be the correct application for it, but just merely harmonics. So anyway, we have the 6th of December, the mark of the beast, 15 Kislev, and we have a period running for a year after that to 6 December 2030, which is, well, actually about in there somewhere. And I will update this timeline, but I'm only going to do it because there's some other timelines that I want to interconnect with it. So it's going to be I think it's going to be quite a messy affair with lots of spaghetti all over the place. I will probably take some of this out just to simplify it. But I think we can sort of see that everything is narrowing down. And we are moving into a period of harmonics where errors become less, not frequent, but less possible. And yeah, I find this to be an interesting journey. It is a pity to me that it is so far away. Like all of you, I'd like to go tonight, or even, tomorrow morning would be fine as well. But uh, unfortunately, personal desires do not factor into the timeline of God's timeline, and we have to just man up and get there, you know. But anyway, guys, I think I'm going to call it quits here. I don't like to make long videos. So unfortunately, the videos will then be, if someone just happened to watch one, they will have no clue what's going on. And they would have missed out on all the previous levels that are built upon, because each level builds upon a previous level, which is a very good way of showing that it is correct. Because the odds, any Gregorian date to repeat on a lunar cycle is only every 19 years. And in that period of resonance, that only happens in that period. And, the odds just stack up and more. But anyway, I'm going to call it quits. Have a blessed day. God bless you, and goodbye.